Hello, I'm back. It's 10:31 p.m. still on Saturday night. So wow. From I had a disaster rough day all day from shortly after midnight, excuse me, all the way until after the police incident happened. Oh wait, I got these things on wrong. So it seemed like all day long TikTok kept wrongfully striking all my damn videos. So that brought me down. I had to deal with online harassment. At this very second, they are vibrating my entire body, mainly my feet at the moment. So they're trying to have me shaken up or frightened about being back on the streets. I don't know if it'll be Thursday or Sunday because, not Sunday, next Saturday. So, as I said, well, when I was traveling from on a Greyhound bus from Pensacola, Florida to Cincinnati, Ohio, in certain areas, I did not have to worry about being gang stalked. Like, ooh, I'm starting to get cold. Hold on, y'all. So, like, when I was, when I was, you know, I had to deal with the gang stalking at the Greyhound bus station in Pensacola. And then, I already told y'all why they ran me out of Pensacola and they tried to trap me. They kept trying to sick the police on me like dogs downtown and, using noise campaigns, whatever it takes to try to get rid of me. So, so then, hold up. So whatever it takes to get rid of me. And then I told y'all about the transit bus driver, that fake retarded perp Yolanda. That was the bus driver, trying to capture me and get me locked up in a mental institution right away because I didn't want to tell her where I was going. Plus, I wasn't sure where I was going. My original plan was, to wait like over the weekend, trying to I'm gonna leave the light on. Trying to do some further research on where might be a good place to go. I love Pensacola, I love the city, but the people made me hate it. The gang stalkers try to force, narcissistic abusers, they try to force you to hate the things you normally love and care about. So, excuse me, so then, the fact that she was trying to bully me and abuse me and try to trap me and, trying to trap me and try to get me locked up in a mental institution right away. I was like, I panicked. I was in a state of panic, and I'm like, oh shit, So I just randomly, I didn't know. First I was trying to choose somewhere, maybe in Arkansas. I didn't know where, maybe Little Rock or Blythe or Pine Bluff or somewhere, or I didn't know where I wanted to go. And so, I didn't even get, it was like, and this is what you got to go through with the targeting. I don't even know if things might get bad enough. Well, I don't have the money to leave here tomorrow, but I'm trying to stay here as long as I could. But, the incident that happened earlier today could have been bad enough that if I just got my Social Security check or something like that, if it would have got worse or got bad enough, then I would have had to up and leave just about everything I have and take the bare necessities and just bounce on out of here. But I couldn't do that because the fact that I have the P.O. box, I would have to turn in those keys and turn in the keys at the front office. I can't run off without the keys. But, I would have to leave as soon as I'm able to if the situation was like a bad enough emergency with being targeted. So, if they, like, I had to leave Trisha's house and I had to leave Trisha's house and treat the situation like as if I was leaving a burning building. Last year, almost exactly a year ago, I had to leave like as if I had to leave her house like as if I was evacuating a burning building. When I try to stay, Janet kicked me out. But they had that lady with the bed bugs at that place in western part of Pensacola. And, I had to flee. I could not stay. Alex ran me out of Pensacola in June 2020, right after dealing with Janet. I had to flee like the next day. I had to flee my Section 8 housing due to the gang stalking. And ended up homeless. It's either I gotta bounce and flee, or I have to, or I end up getting wrongfully kicked out and banned. And like at the Birch Hill Suites in Cincinnati, they try to, tell me that I have 10 minutes to pack all my stuff and leave. And I'm like, it probably would have taken me 2 hours. What you mean 10 minutes? For something you falsely accused me of. So, traveling from Pensacola to, what was that city? To Cincinnati. I had to, with the gang stalking, like, when I was at the Greyhound station in Orlando, it was pretty bad. At the Orlando Greyhound station, it was pretty bad. And then they gang stalked me, and then surprisingly, even though I remember they treated me like shit and had the nastiest attitude with the customer service in at the Atlanta Greyhound bus station. So traveling from Atlanta I didn't really have I was amazed because I didn't have much of any gang stalking activity. And then once I got to Chattanooga, Tennessee Greyhound Station, it got like really bad. I showed footage of that. So then I had a little bit gang stalking even when I got up to Cincinnati, but when I was at the Greyhound station in Cincinnati, oh yeah, before going there, I think I remember they had a bus driver in Cincinnati that was ghetto and rude and had a bad attitude towards me when I was trying to ask, what's the stop to get off at the Greyhound station. And I still got so many Cincinnati and Pensacola videos that I have not released yet. So, or that I haven't even released. So, I even got some videos way from 2021 that I haven't even, released. So, I got a lot of videos. So, because remember I told y'all the perps attacking all my videos, trying to get my videos taken down. So, I had to hide my video, like lots of videos on all 3 of my channels. Almost all, like on my Targeted by the PsychWorld backup channel, it was so bad that I had to hide every video except about 7 videos. Now, at least to show proof of my targeting. So anyway though, for some reason I'm bothered by the light. I'm gonna turn the light off. So I guess I'm used to it's dark in here now, but I guess I'm used to, for some reason, I don't know why the light was bothering me at the moment. Normally, I'm okay with light. It's all right. Sometimes I get bothered by light, sometimes I don't. But it's cold and I had to turn the heater on tonight. So it's like I have a headache right now. And my anxiety is all kinds of high. So with the video, excuse me. No, that's not what I wanted to say. I meant to say, leaving Cincinnati, like once I got to the Greyhound station, I had a lot of perping going on. And I don't remember if I released the footage of that or not. I think I did. And they had people that were fake nice, but trying to hold a conversation with me all the way down to Dallas, Texas, from Cincinnati to Dallas. Everybody trying to tell me that they know me from such and such city and state. So, first I thought it was like innocent and no harm, but this is odd that 4 or 5 people have approached me and told me this. See that lady that took my phone number that's Native American and living in Oklahoma? She has yet to call me. She never called me. And she trying to say that I had her worried so much because she said that her daughter, that I reminded her so much of her daughter. But like, if you Native American, you claim to be half Native American, half white, or fully, or you claim to be Native American, but you look more white. How the hell you have a? I mean, she didn't say that her daughter was mixed with black though, but she tried to say that her daughter looked just like me. So the way she described her daughter eerily seems very similar to somewhat my life, you know. Not like this was really creepy, but she manipulated me into thinking that she was all innocent and everything. I mean, she even said that her daughter got taken away and put in foster care or adopted or something like that. And I mean, you know, a lot of similarities to my life. But she said her daughter was in her 20s. So so then so yeah, they surveilled and followed me all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio, all the way to over here. I showed y'all the April 6th video of Victoria police gang stalking me. Soon as the moment I got off the Greyhound bus, I thought there was some more footage that I had that I don't remember. I thought I recorded certain footage, but then I guess I don't know if it got deleted or what the hell happened. But I mean, they gang stalked me. Um, I question whether or not the Uber driver was a gang stalker, because he parked so far off away from me and made me have to walk far. When he could have pulled right by me. So but I showed y'all what happened the instant I got to Victoria, which is, so the Greyhound bus is like 10 or 15, between 10 and 20 minutes straight shot from here. Very convenient. And so most like the Greyhound bus let you off at the gas station. It's not a formal Greyhound station. So the Uber driver, he was asking me a lot of questions. And like he was asking me a lot of questions, and he kept on talking so low that I couldn't hear him. And he refused to speak up or repeat himself. So there were perps that were there before me in the Uber ride. Before we got to the front office, there were perps already there. Then they had fake residents perping me at the office. And I had it was a struggle for me to get up in here, but I eventually got up in here. And then once I got up in here, I had to deal with, I had just got in here, like the instant I settled up in here, I got into a confrontation with the perps, because that female, she was saying, my husband's mom lives here, and they were idling a loud white truck. That's that nosy lady that's 2 doors down. That's her. That was her son, and the son and daughter-in-law. So I mean, they did some gang stalking activity a few nights ago when The instant I walked outside, it was the day the lady talked to me like a couple of days ago. And then um the the guy had the guy and his wife or whatever were pulling out of the little parking area, like pulling out of the driveway the instant I stepped outside. Plus, they had a loud a red truck blasting loud music. So so I know they have a perp that has like a red truck that blasts loud music, and he lives on the other side by where the Dairy Queen is, somewhere over there, and he be blasting loud music. So so then so I got into an argument. I had just got here, and I had an argument with that girl, that first night here. And then the Hispanic guy next door, he was perping with the red, and I mean, it seemed like all the neighbors, everybody's a fucking perp. Like, why? All y'all some devil worshippers. And for people to talk about, oh, go to church and get into a church, for what? They got devil worshippers in your church. Church full of demonic perps. So, I don't even know. I mean, it would be a miracle to walk up into a church, and everybody was, against the New World Order, preaching real righteousness, and nobody being a gang stalker. That would be the ideal church. And if you're not tied up with 501c3, that would be the ideal church to go to. But the church is not a building. It's a at least two or more people. The church is the body of Christ, not a building. So all these people tell you go to church. No, I ain't going no fucking where. So and due to the gang stalking and narcissistic abuse, I'm traumatized by people. The way I just want to be away from people as much as possible. So it seemed like TikTok kept striking my videos left and right today. How's you know so I mean that ruined my day and frustrated me. um so I don't remember if I woke up at 8 something this morning. It was before 9 o'clock. And then I think it's like I felt like I was washing dishes all day long. I cooked the rice in the rice cooker, and at first I thought, wow, it turned out beautifully. Well, at the top it turned out pretty and nice, but it was like very soft. Maybe the coconut oil made it like that but at first I thought, wow, it looks so pretty. But then afterwards I realized that at the bottom it was all soggy and mushy, and it had water at the bottom. But it was still edible, and I'm still gonna eat the rice. So I don't have to worry about cooking rice for a long time. So I cooked the rice, and the chicken turned out pretty good. You know, I cooked the chicken in the toaster oven. I baked the chicken in the toaster oven, and I had the canned peas. And then I had like big piece of brownie. Um, I mean, I was gonna eat one piece of chicken, but I was extremely hungry. I only ate twice today. Like I have, instead of the oatmeal, I had more farina again today. I had farina, and I should have got. Oh, probably tomorrow I have oatmeal. So so I only ate twice today. I ate breakfast, the farina for breakfast. It was after 12:30 that I had the farina, and then I had, I kept having to wash dishes. I try to be productive. Um, I worked on some writing today, but it got disrupted by the incident that happened, and my day did not turn out how I wanted it to turn out. I mean, I wanted to work on about 4 blog posts and about 5 or 6 short stories today. And I also wanted to do like 10 TikTok videos. And then, put them on YouTube. That's what I wanted to do. But, I was, cooking and washing dishes. And, I took out the trash and trying to straighten up in here. If the incident didn't happen, I had planned to also I planned to mop and clean the floor, but I didn't get to mop or clean the floor. I wanted to take a shower, brush my teeth, and all that, but that incident just had me shaken up and it stopped everything. I mean, put everything to a halt. So, um, so I did start on a short story, but it got put on hold because of the incident that happened. That was totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. So those bitch ass girls, they looked underage, but if they have teenagers driving around, like even when I was in Pensacola in Gulf Breeze, coming home from work from the temp job, and there was that high school boy that was following me with one headlight, and he was an underage child. Now, like, even if you're a child, I'm gonna put your ass on film anyway, because you're a teenager, but you old enough to know what you're doing. The online perps try to criminalize me for saying that Gulf Breeze high school students were gang stalking me. And when the parents came to pick up their kids, the parents were perps too. But I try my best to keep the job and keep the roof over my head for as much and as long as possible. The perps kept on saying, I'm going to find out where you work out. I'm going to find out what library you go to. I'm going to find out what store you shop at. I'm going to find out, what motel you're staying in. The perps, they found out all of it. And they kept on harassing me every single day. And the harassment was so bad that I had to take some time out of my work to report on what they've been doing. Bullying, harassing, and threatening me online all day, every day. And so I try to block. I mean, they bullied me so bad I was forced to take down the Buy Me a Coffee website. I mean, webpage. The Buy Me a Coffee moderators didn't care. They ignored my reports of harassment and gang stalking. I didn't mention gang stalking, but the harassment and threats they ignored, and then they also were glad for me to leave. So that's why I got Kofi now. At least I don't have to worry about harassing comments on Kofi. So and I couldn't block them on Buy Me a Coffee. So so I had to deal with the harassment, abuse, and threats every day. And it was really bad. They harassed me to the point where they bullied and forced me to have to take down my GoFundMe. But my GoFundMe was more famous than this fundraiser right here. So they wrongfully banned me from GoFundMe because the perps falsely accused me of I forgot what the false accusation was. But so that's why I got this one. But then again, I heard that almost everybody was getting treated like that because that was around the time of the Canadian trucker convoy thing. So yeah, so now it's like, well, if the online perps don't get me, then the in-person perps probably will. I mean, I didn't think it was. I didn't realize it was going to be this bad. I spent a couple of weeks with, like, if I wasn't going to go to mainland Victoria to go to the Social Security office or go here or there. I mean, I'm trying to get the driver's license or go grocery shopping. Other than that, I've been, yesterday was the first day I did laundry. So other than that, other than going out when absolutely necessary or even go to Dollar General somewhere, I mostly stay inside. Stay here all day and don't even leave outside. Or the most I might go do is take out the trash. But I stay inside and don't really bother anyone. But I can't even step outside of my door without perp activity. So the online perps found out where I'm living at before I even revealed where I'm at, and I wasn't going to. But I'm like, well, fuck, they already got me, so I might as well just freaking reveal everything. And so the incident today and yesterday was so bad that I had to publicize everything. So if you're just a regular citizen, y'all try to make like I don't have the authority to stop you from doing your noise campaign and noise harassment. Well, you don't have the authority to run me out of the town. You're not even a fucking American. You're here illegally, and you want to sit there and make like you fake demanding authority over your so-called fake property that if you didn't sell your soul to the devil, you wouldn't even have that property. But you fraudulently and illegally got that property because you sold your soul to the devil. So you've been working 14 hours? Hello, perping 14 hours, right? Didn't y'all say the gang stalkers work 18-hour shifts? So, and yesterday evening, they had a perp named David. It looked like as if he was trying to hack into my YouTube or shit, something with shared controls, whatever that means. And I'm like, I never consented to share any of my online activity with any damn. I didn't consent to have my phone shared with nobody. Who the fuck is this David person? So, seeing like as if perps have been trying to hack into my computer, hack into my YouTube, and just doing weird stuff. Like they just now was freezing my phone. So I mean, I stay inside. I stay quiet. I mind my business. I don't bother nobody. But if I'm being harassed, I mean, like with my hypersensitive ear condition, if I gotta hear the loud noise or whatever, noise hurts my ears and it's painful. And excruciating, like as if somebody kept repeatedly stabbing me in my ears. So the police was being heartless and insensitive, and that guy did the malicious and intentional noise harassment as undeserved punishment towards me because he heard rumors on Facebook about me. So those idiots, those stupid girls from yesterday, I don't know if they were underage or if they were 18, but you should not be driving with one headlight, no matter what the age is. And everybody defended and agreed with those girls yesterday. Only one person out of over 90-something YouTube views, only one person cared to give me a thumbs up. One person out of all 1,234 subscribers. So, I have everything on footage. I mean, all the footage of everything. Now, I was like, at that moment, like I try to take a brief break away from my writing and also cleaning up and washing dishes. I just wanted to relax and take a little break. So I try to watch, a quick 3-minute comedy video. The noise was so loud, I mistakenly thought that it was the people that don't stay here. I don't think they stay here. And they like, it was my mistake if I thought it was the people in the black car that was blasting loud music. So they said that they didn't, but they had a fake temporary license plate with a car that's not new. Plus, they had one brake light or one tail light or something. At first, I thought they were trying to gaslight me. And I was wondering, who the fuck is this? So, it was unbearable torture. So, I got my phone and walked down there, and I was determined to find out who the fuck this is doing this. So I got on footage the altercation. Then, he called the police. And it's like, so is it really a crime for me to ask you to turn down your music? He got belligerent, and he did threaten me under his breath when he went and walked back. But his music was blaring so fucking loud that I couldn't even much understand fully what he was saying. But the police officer tried to be like, well, since you don't know what he said, then he didn't threaten you. Yes, he did. But God knows better than I know of what the guy said. And the guy himself knows what he said. So I felt like I'll be damned if I have to deal with that shit every fucking day and can't get any peace or quiet. And it freaking disgusts me that you want to talk about your property while I'm sitting here fucking struggling. And everybody can have fucking houses, cars, jobs, and everything else, but I'm denied rights, being targeted. Everybody else got all these rights, but I don't have any right. Oh, he has a right to blast loud music. Or he has a right to play his music. I'm like, no, he's abusing it by blasting it really loud. And that police officer, it was just one cop, thankfully, but so he had a canine dog in the back. So, I'm glad that the police officer wasn't belligerent or aggressive or anything like that fool. That guy tried to talk about me going all around the town, me being notorious for going all around the town and recording people and doing stupid shit. He prepared and planned to make a noise harassment campaign just to pick trouble, for the gang stalking. And I don't even know if he's related to those girls from yesterday. So, why can the perps film me and put me on film and make it like this crazy, deranged woman going around town being a troublemaker? But I don't have a right to film y'all gang stalking, sex trafficking, satanic crimes. So, the fact that even the in-person gang stalkers are aggressive at trying to run me out of town. Because this town is so little, it'll be easier for them to do it. So then I would probably have to change my address again and end up back homeless on the streets. And it's like I am sick and tired. I am really tired of riding Greyhound buses. I'm tired of traveling via Greyhound. And I don't love flying on planes, but ever since that fake 9/11 bullshit, now I I don't like going through TSA and security and all that. But once we're on the plane, I love it. But I love traveling and being in different places, but I fucking hate the Greyhound bus and everything. There's nothing good that I like about Greyhound. It's like Greyhound is like the forced punishment travel for poor people. I mean, so, but if I were to do my own had a car and done my own driving, you know, I know it would be tiresome. If I wasn't well rested, that would be torture enough. But but at least if I were driving by myself, it would have its pros and cons. Like the pros would be like, I can stop whenever I want to. I can rest whenever I want to. I can eat wherever I want. I can use the bathroom, at whatever rest stop or something. Um, but if I was traveling with other people, narcissistically control when I can use the bathroom, or certain narcissistic abusers narcissistically brag about how they travel long distances and don't stop. Like they brag about how they drove 17 hours from one city to another city and state, and they brag about how they, even traveling with the fake foster mom, she used to want to try to travel and drive all day and not stop and punish us for having to use the bathroom, traveling on a road trip, like all the way from New Orleans to Hampton, Virginia, or something, or the fake cult Bible class conventions. So so yeah, I mean, so there's basically a Bloomington, Texas supposed fake Facebook community that smear campaigned me as this menace or bad person in the area or the neighborhood. But I'm not going to let y'all sit there and smear me as a menace or a bad person or a crazy person when, you know, he blasted that loud music as a form of hate crime. And he was ready to be aggressive, prepared and ready. I mean, all those days that I've been here, he never did this before. But ever since with those girls, so I don't know what they're saying, what smear campaigns they're saying about me on whatever Facebook group. There's at least look like 2 Facebook groups of Bloomington, Texas. So this guy acted like he wanted to do a fake citizens punishment because of the incident with those girls from yesterday. So they filmed and recorded me, but they started with the gang stalking first. And they had made sure to have a red or a green phone case. You're fraudulently and illegally driving around with one headlight. I can't even get a damn car. Hell, I can barely get food. And you got a whole damn car. Gang stalking is not a real job. It's a nefarious side hustle. It's a criminal side hustle. So the fact that y'all won't even allow me peace, torture me with loud music, they've still vibrated my body the whole time. So, I don't even know what's going to happen this coming week. I don't know what's gonna happen this coming week. But the police, um, I don't remember if all that was on film. Oh yeah, I think it was. That the reason why I had him come inside because I didn't want the flies to touch me, the flies and gnats or mosquitoes or whatever to touch me. I didn't want them crawling on me or flying on me. And so that's why I invited the officer inside the house. Otherwise, I wouldn't have let him inside. But he could have done me anything in my own house. And then, right after this police incident, TikTok had to been gang stalking me too because on the For You page or something like that, it was recommended to me a video that was dated back in February. Or was it last? No, it was February. That it looked like a foreign lady who it was a black guy said that the lady was acting like a Karen, and the foreign lady made a police call, and then she accused him of threatening her. So he said that he didn't threaten her, and the lady had, and he was saying that the lady was acting like a Karen, and that she over exaggerated a fake crying breakdown on purpose just to get the police to come faster. And then after that, there was another video that was like For You page or recommended to me of a video of two white police officers punching and beating on a black female that had a dispute with a worker at McDonald's because the employee didn't want to give her change back. And so the employee called the police or something like that. And then the police came out and said, oh, you were resisting arrest for failure to identify. You're resisting arrest and you're going to jail for failure to identify. Well, I heard that those cop watch videos, I heard the cop watch videos, they, the cop watch videos, I heard that you legally do not have to identify yourself. Now, this police officer did not have a name badge. But, I was told, they said don't really talk to... See, that guy, he called the police on me first. And I felt like, well, damn, this is so unbearable. I felt like calling the police was a last resort. Like, I felt like I didn't want to be dealing with this every day or long term. For him to do this all day, every day. Because I've had perps that were malicious and evil as fuck enough that they would blare super loud music right next door to you and then be gone and go to work and blast loud music or loud TV the whole time that they're gone for so many hours all day long. In Denton, Texas, that Christopher Carver perp that was next door, that guy, he was an abusive, narcissistic, bossy, controlling perp. I didn't know he was a gang stalker. The next door neighbor in Denton, Texas, at that apartment complex. So what he did was, he used to do noise harassment, noise campaigns. He was definitely a perp. and he acted like thought he had high authority over me. So then what he did was he one day he blasted super loud music and played the same song, Rump Shaker, all I want to do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Just shake your rump, that song. So he blasted that exact song on repeat all day, every day, while he was going on vacation for 2 weeks. And there was nothing that could be done about it. But one time, he was so bossy, narcissistic, and controlling that he broke into my house and left a fake controlling note trying to forcefully order me to clean my place up. Talking about clean this place up, it stinks. And pretended to be the landlord. He broke in through the window while I was gone by Mark's house, like for the weekend. And the landlord said he didn't do it. So come to find out, it was the Christopher Carver perp. And he was extra controlling and narcissistic and abusive. And he tried to set me up to get arrested in 2009 or 2010 or something. It was hell living with him, as he really was a neighbor from hell. But with Christopher Carver, it started off that him and his girlfriend or fiance Alyssa were at first they used to love me. Melissa was always giving me gifts. She gave me some handmade soap. They would always give. I was sick one time and she gave me like a little health care package, like with some medicine and stuff like that. And Chris, he was like talking to me nice and telling me about how he saw Erykah Badu in concert and everything else. So the walls at the apartment complex in Denton were paper thin. So when they had the fake mental health case manager, Tanya Monique Smith, I don't even know if she works at MHMR on Scripture Street in Denton, Texas. I used to live right across from there, right behind Presbyterian Hospital. I used to be able to walk to the hospital. I lived right across the street. So when he overheard her treating me like a child and lecturing me one day, that's when he changed and started to get bossy and controlling. They had these cats that kept meowing at my door, and they sounded just like babies crying. So I fed them. And he wanted to be narcissistic and controlling and talk about, pick that up. She's not going to eat that. And I'm like, I have to do what my next door neighbor tells me to do. Just extremely bossy and controlling. And they got to a point where I had to keep calling the police on them every fucking night. So, I had to keep calling the police on them every night. Or every day or something. And the police didn't want to do anything. But the moment they make a false report about me, I'm about to go to jail. It's just really not fair. So, so the police, I'm glad that he was calm and wasn't aggressive or anything like that, but I don't even know, I felt like, me asking him what his name was, I felt like for me to tell him my name, even though they said don't even tell the police your name or nothing. Well, they had my address. So I felt like I just wanted to be fair, to tell him my name, even though they said don't really talk to the police or tell them much information or whatever. But the police would try to insinuate that neither one of us committed a crime, which is incorrect because that guy committed the crime by gang stalking, and he was also making threats at me, and he got aggressive and belligerent, and he falsely accused me of being on his property when I was on that little. They had like rocks, so that the rocks was the sidewalk. So so that guy had his mind made up to act abusive towards me and get belligerent and everything because of what he heard on Facebook about me. He straight up said, "No, I'm not gonna turn my music down." And I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit every fucking day. But they do this as a form of harassment to drive the target out, to run me out of Bloomington and make me. And you a man doing this to a woman? You're not even an American. You're not even here legally. What the fuck you talking about? Your property. You in my country. How about that? So me feeling being made to feel unwelcome in my own country. And they hardly have blacks in Bloomington. I don't even think there are any Asians out over here. I don't think there are any Asians here in Bloomington. They said the town is so small that it's 3 miles long. So they said that the town is so small that it's three miles long. And I didn't even get to walk around and like explore the whole town and stuff. So I mean, yeah, I'm glad that the police officer didn't get aggressive, but see that guy wanted to just bully me because he overheard what those girls said, and they probably said something to falsely make themselves look like the victim, and for me to look like the perpetrator. And it's like, I know that the motivation, y'all did this to me because I'm black and because I'm targeted and I'm a disabled female. So for you to be an able-bodied guy to do this to a female, you dead wrong. You dead wrong. That you would rather ruin somebody's life because of the temporary moment that you just wanted to blast loud music because you want to falsely lie and say you worked 14 hours. You were perping for 14 hours. So that was, for harassment and persecution. You don't have the authority to punish. So that was persecution, harassment, abuse that you did. And so then he I showed y'all everything. So I made a mistake, another mistake. I mistakenly thought that the police officer jammed my phone, but I found the video. I didn't realize the time was that short, under 2 minutes. So my apologies with that. If I mistakenly, falsely accused the police officer of jamming my phone. So he didn't do that. He didn't do that. I'm sorry. So I found the video and I put it up there. You know, So I had a few little flaws and mistakes. You know, I mistakenly falsely accused the wrong people of blasting loud music, and they were innocent of that part, but they were not innocent with the perping with the fake license plate. The fake license plate, the fake temporary tags with the car that's not new, and it looked like it was illegally taped on. You know, and then when they drove down the street, I saw they had one brake light or one tail light or something like that. And then they paused, stopped down the street, and some people got in the car or whatever. But when one of the times I was talking to the police officer, um, I think there was a white truck with one headlight or strange headlights, but I had just got here, and I even have some unreleased videos from when I had just got here. Because I didn't want the online perps to know where I was at, and or where I'm staying at, and it's like all that is just blown, you know. So, you know, if I had to end up back on the streets, it's like my the money donated to me plus my SSI back paycheck plus my tax refund check plus the $100 from the YouTube revenue money. All that money would end up going down the drain. And I'm like, I just got here. I just got here. Who are y'all to think y'all have if you have a right to blast music, but I don't have a right to drive a car, I don't have a right to eat food, I don't have a right to write ebooks and short stories, I don't have a right to have a family, I don't have a right to have a roof over my head, I don't have a right to have a job or make a living. I don't have any rights, but y'all have all these perk rights though. Fake TI perps and regular perps, they all get to have rights. But I don't have no fucking rights though. Y'all, I'm not allowed to drive a car, but you can. I'm not allowed to make money, but you can. I'm not allowed to eat, but you can. I'm not allowed to tell the truth, but you can fucking lie all day. And they are vibrating the fucking shit out of me. They are vibrating my whole damn body. They are vibrating my entire body. And guess what? When the fake Darnell Williams try to make remarks about me being cremated, TikTok had a fake For You page video of a man being cremated that was suggested to me. So that was part of the perping. So cremation is not biblical. So yeah, I mean, so much I would have to throw away and give away. And if I had to leave Bloomington, I would have to leave Texas altogether. Because I mean, Houston, I don't think I could be homeless on the streets in Houston. Houston is pretty rough. And this is very fucked up. I mean, this is a place to live. And y'all think y'all got the authority to steal it away from me. I mean, so Food, whether it's cooked or uncooked or raw or whatever, would be thrown down the drain. The soap that I bought, thrown down the drain. The towels and um, crock pot and toaster oven. Oh wow, I won't be able to. I mean, I won't be able to take much of anything with me if I had to be back out on the streets again. And I wouldn't be able to just sit around here and sell the stuff. Hopefully I won't end up back on the streets. Hopefully I hope to be able to get to renew another month here. But as I said, I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut just for a roof over my head, and the torture is unbearable. Unbearable enough that I have to try to find a way to make it stop. It's like y'all trying to force me to live in hell. Undeservingly. Criminally, illegally, and undeservingly. And now I got kind of mild heartburn right now. So my anxiety is so high. My anxiety is so high at the moment. Oh, it's almost midnight. It's 11:43. So, because I had to deal with the police, my phone is saying call blocking disabled, usually for 24 hours. But yeah, that guy called the police on me first. And, I know me being black had something to do with the motivation for him acting like that towards me. And they have these loose dogs running around. No matter if they're small puppies or big dogs, they have loose dogs running around this neighborhood. So the police officer tried to make oh, he has a right to play his music. Or the music is not loud enough, for the, with the decibel or whatever. I'm but I can hear and feel my walls rattling and vibrating. This is how I ended up homeless in the first place. Lost my dog on Section 8 because of idiots every fucking day. Fake, crusty, crackhead neighbors, my own black people. The crackhead neighbors, drug dealing and gang stalking and just having this criminal, weird activity. Before 2017, I never really had trafficking with the drugs and so I heard that the next door neighbor was a crackhead. Her name was Ella Carvin, but she tried to lie to me and said her name was Michelle. And so she was nice and normal, but then she started to act like a perp because she tried to ask me for money or food or something, and I was mad at my twin sister. And that was after what happened in 2017 in October. And I was mad at my twin sister, and I mean, I didn't even get a chance to apologize, but I was mad at my twin sister and took it out on Miss Michelle, But then I tried to apologize, but then by then she started to act like a perp. And then everything just started to get worse and worse and worse. They even had my life threatened. And they were threatening me, blasting loud music and threatening me, every day. Having me fearing for my life. And the landlady, Miss Fran, lied and said that she was gonna let me out of the lease, and then she snuck behind my back and told the Section 8 people that she wasn't gonna let me out my lease. So I got mad and said I'm not signing any more apartment leases. But I didn't realize this was part of the gang stalking activities. I don't know why stuff wasn't clicking or meshing, because in 2015, 16, 17, whatever, I was reading up a lot on gang stalking, and it still wasn't clicking in my mind. So I didn't realize that I was targeted, but because I kept on trying to figure out why is my body vibrating. And um and what kept on coming up was gang stalking and cults. I heard about this thing called boom car noise. And what that guy did was boom house noise. So I heard about a lot of gang stalking tactics and direct energy weapons and stuff a few years ago, but it just wasn't clicking. I didn't understand it. And um so then oh, excuse me. So then um I remember people try to say that if you ask a neighbor to turn down their loud music and they get belligerent with you and you weren't targeted before, some people say that right there alone is something that can get you put on a gang stalking list and for you to be stalked to death for the rest of your life. I've heard married women say that another man on the outside trying to get fresh with them and they turn the man down. That's another way you can get gang stalked. And I've heard back then, about how um I used to read up about how gang stalkers used to how gang stalkers would snoop through a targeted individual's trash and stuff. And I actually had a neighbor that did that to me in Greenville, South Carolina. She was not abusive and narcissistic and acted like she thought she owned me. I can't remember the lady's name at the offhand, but she had a son named Stone. I'm like, who the hell names their child Stone? But she named her son Stone. And I don't remember what her name was. But she was one of those abusive, narcissistic, bossy, controlling neighbors that acted like she delusionally believed she owned me. She looked anorexic and she was a heavy smoker. Stunk really bad. Stunk so bad, all her belongings smelled like cigarettes. Oh, her name is at the back of my head, but the tip of my tongue. And she tried to shove her fake furniture in my house. It stunk so bad, it had my whole entire house smelling like strong cigarettes. I had to take all her stuff out of my house, the stuff that she donated. It smelled so offensive. So she was doing stuff like snooping through my garbage, and she was snooping through my garbage and doing weird stuff and acting like she thought she owned me, acting like she delusionally believed she had high authority over me. So every place I live at, there's always this bossy, controlling neighbor who act like they delusionally believe that they're a high authority figure over you, while everybody else is just flying monkey perps. So it's always that one neighbor that's bossy and controlling, whether they live next door, across the street, adjacent from you, upstairs, or somewhere in your complex or whatever. It's always that one neighbor that's bossy and controlling everywhere I go live at. So so when I was new to Greenville, South Carolina, I used to hear paramedics several times a day. And one time it was in the middle of the night, and I guess it was a crack house in some motel that was around the corner. And so I heard people arguing, and then I heard gunshots. And the moment I heard gunshots, immediately there was like the ambulance sounds. Now, like, this sounds like exactly like when you see at the end of a movie, like certain movies, if somebody gets shot and killed, and you hear gunshot, boom, 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 and then if they get shot and killed, and then fall to their death, and then immediately you hear the ambulance paramedics, and then next thing you know, the movie goes off, and then there's the credits, and then everybody get up out of the movie theater, and you know they start to walk out of the movie theater, and gossiping is discussing, talking about how it was such a sad ending or whatever, talking about the doggone movie or whatever. I'm like, damn, so anyway. But when I first got to Greenville, South Carolina, I had to do stuff like hide in the bathroom or duck underneath my bed because it kept sounding like people were shooting it at me. It's like, the fuck? I just got here. I don't know nobody. Before I started making complaints about noise harassment, noise campaigns, or whatever, before I started making any complaints about anything, I don't remember if it was my first night, but I was really scared, hearing gunshots every night. And then afterwards, I would go outside, like the next day, during the day, and see no holes. I would see no holes at all around the building, and no bullets on the grass or nothing. But I'm like, this is fucking scary. I'm like, I just got here. Who are these people? And why are they trying to shoot me? And then next thing you know, I had a nightmare about our family members attending a funeral. And I had a nightmare about our family members attending a funeral, and it was a black woman who, in real life, I wouldn't know, but it was a portrayal of a family member's funeral. Then next thing you know, I was having nightmares about myself having a gun. Having guns underneath my bed. And then, my biological cousin Blake got shot and killed. And the day before, I almost got struck by a car. I almost got killed in Greenville, South Carolina. I almost got murdered. Somebody tried to hit me with a car. And he nearly succeeded too. It was a white guy. He nearly succeeded at hitting me with his car in Greenville, South Carolina. So they probably would have had a double death, because for me to get murdered or get killed the day before Blake, and I was in a different city and state away from family, so I don't know how the family would have found out about my death. So that's some scary doggone shit. And then for Thanksgiving of 2016, there was a man he was homeless too, and I had to sit next to him on like whatever bus when we went to, I think it was Simpsonville, South Carolina, and they had that homeless buffet. I mean, they did it up for us at this church. And I mean, if it weren't for homeless people putting their dirty hands in the food, you know, that, I mean, oh man, the food was really good and it was plentiful. It was a lot of food. And, you know, it was great. They did it up for us. But I hated the idea of, you know, homeless people, you know, putting their dirty hands in the food and all, you know. But other than that, I mean, it was such great food and everything. And it was a man that, and I even looked at him and I told him straight to my face, I'm like, you look so much like my cousin Blake. And so, you know, I forgot what his reaction was, but he wasn't mean, he was nice, you know. And then they had this guy named Jarvis that was like the biological brother Shaw. And then this guy, I don't know his name, but he looked like the other brother Pete. And I'm like, well, damn, you know. So, um, so yeah, they had this white lady that used to blast black people's music, but she had kids half Hispanic. And she was even perping me by blasting Aaliyah's music. And she had an orange car. And she used to blast music so loud passing by in that car that it used to make, like twice, it made me jump up and then fall on the floor. The like with the loud the bass was that bad that it had knocked me to the ground. And then they had these Puerto Rican perp neighbors. One of the guys' name was Carlos, and I forgot what his roommate's name was. They both had older model Volkswagen Jettas. And after work, they would do stuff like rev up the car all day, every day. And oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, this um, this heartburn is so getting bad. So I mean, and then I had to deal with neighbors. They were a married lesbian couple that used to come home at like close to 2 o'clock in the morning from work, blasting loud music from their car, keeping me up all night. I mean, it's just, I mean, and I didn't realize they were all fucking perps. I mean, as far like I even had gang stalking neighbors in New Orleans towers who used to blast super loud music. And I don't know about any other targeted individuals, but another thing is if you're living in an apartment complex or something like that and you're dealing with gang stalking, you're liable, I mean you're susceptible to hearing neighbors having sex like every day. And that happened in New Orleans Towers. That happened in Greenville. I mean, I'm sorry. That happened in Denton, Texas, and a few other places. Like, if you hear neighbors having sex every day, and that's part of the doggone gang stalking, or they could be faking like they're doing it every day. So, when I was in Greenville, South Carolina, I mean, I keep saying Greenville. When I was in Denton, Texas, in 2007, it was an interracial couple. And the black guy, he was physically abusing and beating on the female. And she stayed with him and she didn't fight against him or she didn't defend herself. And like he would have sex with her like every doggone day. And he was having sex with her every day. And then then later on, you heard him angry and yelling, and he would physically abuse and beat on her. And then next thing you know, I saw that they had an eviction notice, and they got evicted. So in Denton, Texas, I heard a lot of that going on. You know, so I mean, Denton's supposed to be a small town, but Denton was way bigger than Bloomington. I don't know if Denton was the size of I don't know if it could have been bigger or smaller than Victoria, but they said Victoria is very small. But it was Denton County, Denton City, Denton County, Victoria City, Victoria County, you know. So yeah, but anyway, so I ate only twice today, and let me see, is it me? Oh, it's now 12:02. It's now Sunday, April 30th, 2023. You know, at 12:02 a.m. in the morning, not p.m. What am I saying? So I need to pray because I did pray earlier, that I can still get to live here next month, you know. So so I mean, I'm so agitated. I know I'm innocent, but I know that guy, what he did was a crime because it's part of the gang stalking. He wasn't just an innocent, harmless person playing his music. He was doing that for harassment, gang stalking. And that's a doggone crime. And so, I don't even know if that police officer was a perp or if he was just a lazy officer. But he had that big ass K9 in the back of the vehicle, So I had a rough day and I'm tired. So I'll talk to y'all tomorrow or later on today. I'll see y'all.